applied statistics, applied machine learning, big data, just like that.
Exactly.
Or bots.
All that other spending that nobody knows what to do with.
So we are working with a group in New York, who is a bunch of groups working on things related to the Farm Bill and farm policy, and trying to find data related to new farmers and subsidies and support for them. And our challenge
project here for the camera is that we're doing basically a crosswalk, a way of connecting federal regulations, proposed and final, with laws as they get passed by Congress, and especially as they relate to bills. So that Andrew and I are coding right now. Andrew's working on some documentation and then some scrapers for regulatory data. I'm working on getting our database going, our website going, and people here doing various things.
Who's Andrew?
Sorry, this is Andrew.
Andrew.
Valuable research.
Well,
one
best
thing
way
that
to track from a law to turning it into a regulation. So there seems to be multiple ways to classify it in this notice and comment middle period, and one of them is called the regulatory event.
And then also just understanding the hierarchy of something that is 250 years old, like the U.S. Code, is very challenging, and it doesn't work as you think it does. So just every little piece of the data has tons of them.
And our challenge is that one of the big data sets we wanted to use, which was small business administration loans, their API is totally dead in the water today, and so we have not been able to pull that data. We've got other good and interesting data. We can find information about farmers and about subsidies.
System and the capital bike share, and wanted to see kind of aggregated data per user, and maybe later down the road turn into big data analysis and visualize your trips, visualize your costs, your daily commute, and perhaps in the future do sensitivity analysis. If you leave 10 minutes later, what does it do to your cost of commute on average? Things like that.
Capital bike share. Every time you take a trip, it logs it into your personal account, and so you can see your trip history for your personal account. And so we wrote a scraper to scrape all that information out of the website, so we can reproduce that.
The Smithsonian has like a database of like public art across the United States, and it's really in an archaic format, like difficult.
We've been working on trying to use PopVox and GovTrack data to let people grade their members of Congress based on if their members of Congress voted on bills the way that they would have had them vote on those bills. So we're looking at people who weighed in on PopVox saying
should, for the entire government, should show should either adhere to Benford's distribution, or it should provide a new Benford's distribution. So Newcomb's law basically said, based on the logarithms of numbers.
The challenges we face is that the data is inconsistent, and Justin wrote a script in Python that screen scrapes data from a Smart Trip account and turns it into CSV. What I wanted to do is take the CSV and bring it into an application that has a data model, but the data published by WMATA does not match up with everything you see in a Smart Trip. So we see some technical challenges.
U.S. Code is published in bulk by the House, only in the raw format that is appropriate for their typesetting machines that are a century old. Parsing that is a challenge.
So I actually work for Data.gov. I'm the chief architect for Data.gov. Mocking up a new Data.gov, I would love to see some good ideas on how to make that better. From Eric, I think, about fragmented search being a huge problem with the way that we approach or way that we provide search results, and we're already starting to work on it. So I can assure you that any type of feedback that you give, we will take that and start to work on it. So
we have 3 artifacts from the day. One is that we've Andrew here parsed the parallel table of rules and authorities that maps federal regulations to the U.S. Code. Max here did God's work of parsing the Office of Law Revision Council's table mapping every little piece, subsection of the law to every subsection of the code and every page of the statutes.
From 1789.
1789 to the present day. So that's pretty astounding. Two fun facts. One is that there are currently 45,000 proposed rules right now that we could all comment on should we choose.
Fun fact about what we did.
Yeah.
Van Hollen voted 60% with Mackenzie. That's a fun fact.
That's what we learned.
Quite a small proportion of new farmers get loans from the farm subsidies, what is it, farm FSA.
Biggest one is for the USDA, and their data looks remarkably fake in that the frequency for the digit 1 is off by almost the exact inverse of what the digit 3 is off by, and the same relationship for 2 and 4. So these probably aren't real costs, but estimates is